Many thanks for staying with us. We're still coming to you live from Adesa Way. We're doing business on New Day. Now, early on, I was just running you through the Ebola situation. Of course, it's the discourse of West Africa now. On all major platforms, it is being discussed. Now, this morning, I have in the studio CEO of Dalex Finance, Ken Thompson, who is taking the mantle on with his team to go around and educate the public. Thank you very much for coming into the studios, Ken. We're always excited getting you here in the studios. Let me first of all find out from you. Now, you've set out several initiatives on the Ebola campaign. I mean, one recently was the fund that was launched. First of all, let me talk about what the fund is doing, because in Ghana, we believe if people are coming to support, if your company is supporting, and obviously you should be using this for something.
Okay. First of all, let me say congratulations to TV3. I mean, being fourth in Ghana is fantastic.
We appreciate it.
I've been coming to this studio for at least, I've been here this year, I've been here at least 5 times. I've seen changes, and it takes hard work.
Definitely.
Every time I've come here, I've seen improvement, so well done. The Ebola Education Fund was initiative of Dalex Finance, supported by BFT, UNICEF Ghana Health Service. It was set up to raise private sector funds to fund education in Ebola. But one thing people forget is that, you see, the consequences of Ebola coming to this country are enormous. You know, at the moment, the prediction is that there'll be 5,000 cases by end of November, and that by January next year, there's going to be over 1 million cases. But you see, the only weapon we have, one of the key weapons we have, is education. We need to educate ourselves about it and be prepared. But think about, even if one case was reported in Ghana and we didn't have education, the way we live would totally change. No church,
preparing for a concert
no
over the weekend.
That's it, it's over. You know, so it's very important that we educate ourselves. So that's the whole idea behind the Ebola Education Fund. And so far, we've done a lot of work. We've done distribution of flyers, we've done posters, we've donated posters to Ghana Health Service, we've done Ghana Army, we've done prisons, we've done private sector companies. And those are the sort of things we're doing. Last weekend, we started going out to the markets, and we also launched One Ghana United Against Ebola campaign, because there's certain things that will require a national effort. And for me, what really, so we had, you know, a few people, quite a number of people at Makola. We had other people at Agbogboshi, we had other people at New Plant Station, and we're doing pasting posters and distribution of flyers.
Talking about pasting of posters, there's one poster here. I would want to open it up for the cameras to catch it. If you've not received yours, just be on the lookout. At any point in time, we will be coming. So you could talk about it a little bit before.
This talks about, I mean, this is sanctioned by UNICEF. Ken Thompson is a businessman, a medical doctor. So you go to the people that know what they're talking about. So it's about how Ebola is transmitted. It's about the symptoms. It's about how you prevent it. And if you suspect you have Ebola, what to do. And these things are also key. And what you have here is graphic, so everybody can understand. You know, in Guinea, about nearly 7 people, including 2 journalists, were killed because they went on Ebola education.
This is journalists?
Yes, 7 people in Guinea. And the people actually refused to even release the bodies. And last weekend when we were doing poster pasting and distribution of flyers, some people said, no, some people refused to accept it. But it's all about education. And if it comes, we must be prepared. If we're not prepared, everything stops. You know, there are Ghanaians now that are cancelling trips to this country because they're afraid that when they come and it's a flight ban, they're finished. They can't go back.
As well as the business community or investors also. So you're saying that obviously this is even affecting the...
But you can ask those in the tourist industry, and somebody will say, okay, well, I'm not in the tourist industry. But remember that the economies, is all linked together. I mean, everybody's linked together. What we've tried to do with One Ghana United Against Ebola.
Maybe before you go on, just show me the sign. I mean, I should lift which finger up and...
As I say, One Ghana against Ebola. And what we've tried to do is to get people like you, celebrities like you, to take a picture, post it on your Facebook page, post it on the site, so that will actually encourage other people to find out about Ebola. But one thing that has been extremely disappointing is that some people have said that if you don't give me money, no, too big celebrator, if you don't give me money, I'm not going to do it. And you know,
because I was going to come on this point, it's very key, but have you received that cooperation that you desire? I mean, if you approach people that, look, I want you to be a part of this campaign because of the trust Ghanaians have in you as an actor, as an actress, as a footballer.
You see, I think that what we forget is that the value of your fame and your wealth is how you can use it to benefit society. That's the only value that you have. For me, that's the only value you have. And until you can do that, really, your wealth or fame has no value. And you got to remember that you depend on a certain society to make your wealth or to create your fame, and that society has to work for you. So anyway, we're still going ahead. For those that want some money for it, I'm not going to pay it. Really, I think it's a waste of time.
People actually do call for it, that look, Dalex, you have to pay me before I come about.
Yeah, but you know, when we started this campaign, Dalex itself, the target was 1 million CDs, and we ourselves put 100,000 CDs to it. So 1 million CDs, we put 100,000 CDs to it. And we've had, one of my friends came to the office. He's from Sec Print. Richard said, "Oh, Ken, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna." Well, I says, "Oh, I'll print for you." Okay. And the guy's giving us almost 100,000 CDs of print for free. But we all got to see that it affects all of us. And when it comes to the countries with the highest risk of Ebola importation, Ghana is number one. But can't we see our borders are porous? In any case, it's got nothing to do with borders. The people that have been moving along the west coast for centuries, nobody's going to stop that.
The fishermen are definitely going to go.
Exactly, fishermen will go.
Let me switch to the camera and then just say, well, if you are celebrated out there, then indeed you would need to find your own way of being part of this campaign. I mean, Ken in his own way with his team have started this, and you would definitely have to get aboard also. It takes nothing from you. It's the same people. Now, imagine going for that concert and going to perform there. If there's one case of Ebola, do you think that concert will happen? Do you think I'm going to come there? Let's just quickly come back to Ken. Just add on what you expect that as a nation, as corporate bodies, as individuals, we should be doing around this time.
Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Nigeria, and the reason why Nigeria has been able to, one of the reasons is that they have actually tackled it aggressively. The markets, offices, taking of temperature, everybody is involved. And this is one of those things that everybody in this country needs to be involved. It's not about government, it's not about individuals, it's not about Ken Thompson, but everybody has to be involved, because if it comes to these shores, we're in trouble. This recent matter of, there's a young girl that was taken all the way from Guinea to Mali by grandmother. He had Ebola.
Yes.
Nobody knows how many people. And the wait and see attitude really is not going to go anywhere. And Ebola is not going anywhere. And the only weapon we have against this is education. So far I've had companies join. Japan Motors gave us some money. Golden Pride Savings and Loans have given us some money. BNFT have given a lot of airtime, graphic, all the TV3. This is about the second or third time I've been here, and so I'm very impressed. But we all have a responsibility. Can't we see that? Can't we see it?
I think the point is made very clear. But let me find out from you. So, do you think the fund is still active? It needs people to come up aboard, bring in more support, and indeed, what is it going to go into? Direct education through printouts and conveying people to different areas, marketplaces.
Okay, we have a vision. For example, last week we also did poster pasting and flyer distribution in Ho. We've also we're going to do something in Kumasi, we're doing something in Takrady, Tamale, Sunyani. It's going to be poster pasting, flyer distribution. This is us using our network and our resource, because we have over 1,000 employees out there. And also next weekend we're hosting a breakfast meeting for proprietors, shareholders of media companies to appeal for time. And we're doing, the Minister of Health will be there, UNICEF will be there, Ghana Health Service will be there, and the hotel can I mention their names?
Okay, just go ahead.
Fiesta Royal have generously, all we did was just make one call. They said, we'll host it, we'll pay for it. We'll sponsor it.
So everybody is now coming
can't
together.
you see? I'm thinking, can't you, Ghanaians, can't you see what is happening? And we've got to be part of it.
And it's going to be a time with the major stakeholders in the media houses so that we can all come together and support this initiative.
I mean, what does it take to give, I don't know, 1 minute or 10 minutes every day to play a jingle on Ebola? What does it take to run a whiteboard advert? What does it take? Because for me, I'm scared. If it comes here, our businesses will suffer. And add to our depreciating CD, our weak economy, I mean, really, this wipeout. It's going to be wipe out. Can't we see? And it's very easy for us to even sit in our offices and think that everybody knows about Ebola. Go to Makola, and Makola is one of the big markets. Go to Makola, go and do flyer distribution, and see what people tell you. That's
I think the education on the at the grassroots level is still very minimal, and we need to do more.
If you ask me to rank it from 0 to 10 based on what I experienced personally, I give it -300.
Minus is in the negative, actually.
Yes.
You think we've not done enough as a nation, so long as education is concerned?
I haven't done a sample survey, but from where I stood on in Makola, and from distributing flies for 1 hour and speaking to the women, as far as I'm concerned, it's -300. And those are the people that matter. Our women and our children are the people. They hold this nation together. And if they don't know, who knows?
Okay, Ken, I'll give you the opportunity within 30 seconds to look at the various CEOs, industry owners, and the like, and give them your final word on this campaign, and then we'll quickly round it up.
I mean, all Ghanaian CEOs. Which is that? Which way?
Okay.
All Ghanaian CEOs. This. I'm really. I think that the private sector has always been the game changer.
Okay.
And if we're going to win this fight in educating the people, it's the private sector that has to be involved. And the education fund is not asking for money. We're asking for your time, or asking for other resources to help educate the people of this country about Ebola. Because if this disease comes to this country and not prepared, it's absolute wipeout. And you and I in the private sector, we're finished. And to add to our current problems, I don't think that works. So I really encourage everybody to get involved. I mean, somebody should come and say, come to my office, we'll do the One Ghana sign, come and do it. I mean, what does it take? But we are the game changer. We have people that look up to us, and we are the people that can make that change that is necessary for us to be able to fight this disease effectively.
Okay, now you know what, I have a surprise for you. Because we are a strong brand in this country and we believe in this initiative, we've just decided to extend the time just a little bit so that you have a little more time to speak on this situation. So we'll just take you all the way to 9 before we break for other programs to come on. But just then, let me find out from you now. Let's be practical about it. For all those celebrities out there, you just want them to take a picture, come over, discuss, show a sign, post.
All you see, we have the One Ghana logo, but you may or may not have it.
Okay.
But just take a picture of yourself. Say One Ghana United Against Ebola. Post on the Facebook site. Tell your friends. Let's spread the word. I mean, your value, of your fame is only how it benefits society. This morning, coming to the studio, there was on one of the radio stations, they were talking about some show at
one of the
stadium. I went on and on. I'm thinking about these guys are a joke, because if there's an issue with Ebola, that show will not come on.
Public gatherings,
it would go to zero.
Already for some 3 months, all international conferences were cancelled.
They have been cancelled, and more have been cancelled. You invite people to Ghana, they're not coming. But everybody should realize that it affects all of us. I'm a good example, an example of how people react to diseases. When there was the SARS crisis broke out in Asia, everything that people did normally stopped. So it's in all our interest to come together to fight. And so it's one of those things that we need to come together as a nation. I'm a very busy person, but so is everybody else. But I know that I'm so scared of the consequences that I have to put myself out to try and galvanize,
So you
people.
devoted time that, well, at least within a day, I'll devote an hour or so, or 30 minutes to just do a little advocacy. I mean, show a little concern, work around this subject a little bit, one way or the other.
I'm giving Ebola Education Fund 100% effort. I'm giving my work 100%. Everything that I need to do, I'm doing. I mean, I've got to do it, But we're working with everybody. We're working with everybody, and it's not. We just happen to be the initiators, But we're working with everybody. But people should be able to see that it affects them directly.
Occasionally there would be critics who would think, oh, this is a private entity, another way they just want to mobilize funds, and I'm sure sometimes you hear some of these critics, and it really puts you off. I mean, if you have the chance to respond to some of these comments, what would you tell?
What you're saying is very true. The fund itself, in terms of cash that we've received, so far cash we've received about 30,000 CDs, something like that. Okay. That is in an account. It's called the BFT Ebola Education Fund, and nobody in Dalex Finance is a signatory. It's actually managed by BFT. I don't even know about the fund. All the things that we've done, the t-shirts, sponsoring the event, extra, has been paid for by Dalex Finance. We've paid for it, so the fund has not been.
So the fund, even it's not touched yet. The hardcore payment is coming from your company.
And we've already actually put 10,000 CDs in already. We'll spend another maybe 60,000 to do, but we have the fund, Then the posters and flyers were actually a donation. Somebody donated to us, and then we have over 1,000 sales executives, 1,000 employees, so we can deploy. And we're nationwide. So if we decide tomorrow that, okay, as a team, Dalex, we're going out to distribute flyers. Once we make our phone call, and we have a structure that works, every month we're disbursing over $3 million of loans. That machinery kicks into place. So all that are resources that we're deploying that we're not even accounting for in monetary terms. But of course, as the fund, hopefully next week or the week after, we'll bring out, some declaration of transparency. We'll show exactly what we've done, and we'll show exactly where the monies have come from, and all that we'll be paying for ourselves. It's not that we're a rich company, but we have to do so. Our only value is what we can do to benefit this country, because as Dalex, we're nationwide, and anything that happens in this country, it affects us directly. And in any case, I keep on saying the private sector is the game changer. Look at all these banks, all their branches. So anything happens, those branches are not functioning.
Ken, would you want to see government see some of the private sector initiatives, and that public-private partnership initiative where they can come in also and say, we're doing a great thing, we want to come up aboard? Is everybody, including government, invited?
Everybody's invited. Everybody, you don't have to be. We're just we're trying to galvanize, the effort. But everybody's supposed to play a part. I don't want to be caught up in whether it's a government, Ghana government, or whether it's a private sector initiative. I mean, we gave the Ghana Health Service over 20,000 posters. At the time when they only had 20,000, we supported them in the distribution of the posters.
You gave them 20,000 posters, supported them in the distribution also.
Yeah, we gave the Ghana Army posters. We gave the Ghana Police posters. We've given prisons posters. We've given a lot of posters to private sector bodies. We've gone out last Monday. We went out. We're giving posters to filling stations, because I was going to, I think it was some studio, and I realized that all these filling stations, there was no education. So I actually said, okay, I'll call the office and say, look, let's go out and give posters to all the
filling stations.
So get over 30 filling stations.
At least you get there for your fuel and the posters, then you can read.
Exactly. We've given posters to churches. But there is only so much we can do. But as a team, as one nation, we can do much, much, much more.
Definitely we can do much, much more. And Ken, if there's Ebola in this country, I'd be afraid to shake hands with you. But at least now we don't have the situation. So congratulations, good job you're doing, and we would support you in every little way. My commitment as a journalist and a broadcaster is to also join in One Ghana United against Ebola.